Hi there, I'm Uncle Joel with Pen and Reel. So I decided I wanted to do something a little bit different with Star Wars now that the Skywalker Saga is finished. So I'm going to do a movie by movie rewatch of all 11 Star Wars movies in order of chronology. So I'm going to do episode 1, 2, 3, Solo, Rogue One, and then 4 through 9. I'm not going to do The Mandalorian or the Clone Wars animated show or Rebels or anything like that. I'm not going to touch the comics. I'm just going to focus on these 11 live action movies. And I may wind up going back later and doing some of that other stuff, but that won't be connected to this series. The idea being to consider the entire film series as a whole, as one collective whole telling an extended story, and to try to look at the series in that lens and find the weak points and the strengths throughout. And one of the things that got me thinking about this is thinking back to before Disney bought Star Wars, just how much people hated the prequel trilogy. But then once it started coming out that Disney was doing away with the Legends material and was starting a new canon, essentially, and then especially after Disney started releasing the Star Wars movies and receiving a ton of backlash for them, people started praising the prequels all of a sudden. Like, there are so many people I see online that hate the Disney movies, but praise the prequels as these, like, high cinema. Which it just, like, there's this complete 180 in regards to the prequels. So it makes me wonder, like, okay, how much is nostalgia driven? How much is in contrast? Like, oh, well, I hate the Disney movies, so the prequels can't be that bad. And how much of it is like an actual objective look at it? So with that in mind, I decided, okay, I'm gonna view the series as a whole, and I'm gonna try to look at this a bit more objectively. I'm gonna critique each movie as I go. Now, full disclosure, I haven't watched any of the prequels in, I want to say, at least a decade. And I haven't really watched any of the originals in almost as long. And another full disclosure, I also have a lot of wildly different opinions from what seems to be popular. For instance, just to give you kind of an idea of where I'm coming from, I found The Last Jedi to be a deeply flawed movie, but there are aspects of it that I love more than any other Star Wars movie. Also, the last time I tried to rewatch the original Star Wars, I just didn't enjoy it all that much. Now, to be clear, I'm not the people who thinks the Disney stuff is far better than anything that came before it. Definitely not. I have plenty of critiques of the Disney stuff. But, I just throw that out there at this point so you can understand, like, I'm not going to come at it from what tends to be kind of the typical perspective. Like, I don't hate stuff that a lot of people hate, and I don't love stuff that a lot of people love. For instance, there's a ton of love for Rogue One that it just didn't connect with me like that. I enjoyed it, but it wasn't like this amazing movie, and I would not rave about it. I know plenty of people who say Rogue One is the best movie outside of The Empire Strikes Back. And personally, I don't agree. That being said, the only time I have watched the movie was opening night in theaters. So maybe now that I've had plenty of time and I start going back through these movies in order, maybe I'll have a different perspective. I'm very open to seeing things differently. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing with my Star Wars series. I'm hoping that I can get a bit of a different perspective this way. Maybe look at things a little more critically. Also, maybe step back and try to just appreciate it for what it is, and try to just get a different view of what I have known for decades. So yeah, maybe you'll want to join me and attempt to see the series in a completely different light. Maybe look at things a little bit more critically and like, okay, how does this serve the overall plot of the series? How does this help develop the world? And maybe how does it fail to do so in certain ways? And then maybe at the same time, try to step back and just look at it as entertainment. Let's not get bogged down in what I think characters are supposed to be, or how the Force is supposed to look, or how I expect and want the world to progress. So I'm going to be looking at things in regards to storytelling. I'm going to be looking at character development. I'm going to be looking at overarching narrative for the entire saga. I'm going to be poking holes. I'm also going to be trying to patch some. So yeah, I hope you join me. And look forward in the near future to Pin and Reel's Star Wars 2020, a look back at the Skywalker Saga. And until then, this is Uncle Joel saying, stay tangible.